My dear brothers and sisters, the great scholars, thinkers, philosophers, and scientists gathered for this unique Parliament of World's Religions, which is a reminder to all of us of the very first Parliament, which was held on 11 September 1893. And particularly myself, it reminds me of the words of wisdom spoken by the great noble son of India, Swami Vivekananda, who had said that time, and when he said, union of science and religion / spirituality alone will help to bring harmony and peace to mankind. And he had given the very definition that religion is nothing but to perform one's duty. Duty towards the mother, the father, the family, the society, the nation, and the entire world. World as one family. Before I make some comments on the very subject which has been given to me, that whether the value-based universal education system can help to minimize the hate speech, the violence, the chaos, and the confusion prevailing in this world, in spite of the most mind-boggling developments in the field of science and technology, getting all the facilities and the luxurious things for enjoyment and possibly the pleasures of life. But friends, I sincerely feel that we have another component. It's not the human body alone, but there is a mind and the heart which needs to be really understood properly. The mind, matter, spirit, and consciousness are the four important words which we have to address ourselves when we have been trying to think about development of a human life. And when we say the development of a holistic society as a whole, we have to have a very important and a very prestigious component of life, that is education. I can only tell you, friends, that in the name of the same noble son again, that he had said that the education is nothing but a perfection already in a person, in a man. So many definitions have been given, but finally I feel on the present situation when we see all around that everything is available. Outer space, IT, computer, particle physics developments, but on the other side we have not been having a full satisfaction, and possibly there's a chaos, confusion, confrontations, the massacre, the bloodshed, and horrifying violence too. The issue is mainly in front of me, and the discussion which went on, what is the solution for this? I, for one, friends, I feel sincerely that there is a need to have a value-based universal education system. The moment I say universal, somebody may call that how can you dare to say universal? The basis is that every nation has a geography, its history, its culture, its traditions, but the time-tested values are common. The human values are common. And naturally, we have got to know exactly what way we have to proceed. And from that point of view, there is an urgent need. There was a time, friends, you remember it very well, that religion is very dominant. And Mr. Galileo, the greatest scientist, when he gave an equation or when he told the world that the sun is stationary and the earth revolves it, he was given a death punishment. Socrates himself, the great philosopher of the world, he was also given a poison for educating and possibly trying to speak some logical and with reasoning. But nowadays, it has gone to the other extreme. And I sincerely feel that when we understand the IT, computer, particle physics, whatever words you speak about, finally the question is we should have an appropriate system of education, even though I don't say that the present system is wrong. But there is some deficiency which has been observed all over the world. And we know that the outer space, the various computer, IT, internet, everything we have been trying to speak, but there is no full satisfaction, and there is some deficiency observed because the spiritual component or the religious component or about the religion itself, there is no inclusion all over the world. The global society as a whole, all the vice chancellors, the university heads and everybody, we have got to seriously think on these issues that we must have a component of appropriate component of science and appropriate component of spirituality too. Not to misunderstand about the spiritual component, because that ultimately helps to develop the positive mindset. The issue is not to have a destructive mind or a negative mind, but how to develop the positive mindset. And possibly the best solution would be that you should have a certain component of meditation and your own faith, whatever belief you have. But remember, friends, that at least we must have to have a complete component of at least some component of spirituality and some component of science part of it, engineering part of it, or IT computer part of it. And we will have to design a new system of education. And from that point of view, if you can really try to make the mind a positive mindset, the hate speech or the spiteful speeches, which is possibly ultimately coming out from the mob tendency. When there is a mob tendency, possibly the chaos and confusion becomes more horrifying. And presently, we can never think of the worst of the worst fear complex which is being created. And the world over, there is a big problem. We are not at peace at all. Our World Peace Center, MIT, Pune, India, who is a firm believer of the great philosopher saint of India, Sant Jnaneshwara, at the age of 16, he said, this spiritual component or the religious component is nothing but to understand the ultimate reality, the ultimate truth. You may call Ram or Rahim or Jesus or Buddha, whatever name you give. My name is Vishwanath. The question is, this name is given by my parents. The issue is, what is that invisible force or the energy which needs to be appropriately understood and included in the education system itself. That is my personal feeling, friends. And I sincerely feel that world over we have to think again and finally settle a new education system, which I call it as a value-based universal education system, which may be some solution to minimize the chaos, confusion, bloodshed, massacre, terrorism, and violence. Horrifying violence all over the world. Why it is happening, what is the reason behind, we can think and you can certainly answer. You can know it very well because you are all learned people, scholarly people, the men of education, men of academics. And I think I have a sincere feeling that, as said by the Vivekananda himself in 1893, that time has come and we have to think and revive ourselves in an appropriate manner. I don't say everything is wrong. I personally, I'm a professor of engineering. I do understand it. And finally, I would say and conclude with a few words. This is Atharva Veda quotation, not with a pride, because I'm an Indian. But let me tell you, friends, there is a confusion again that all the religious scriptures are something like an ignorant part of it. There is some confusion about the spiritual component. And let me tell you, friends, all the religious scriptures themselves are life-guiding scriptures. They are not only meant for either the Islam, the Quran, the Bible, the Gita, the Guru Granth Sahib, whatever names you take up the different books. You will find that they are nothing but the life-guiding scriptures. How to live and how let others live. How to help and how to help the other people. That has been the solution. Finally, I would like to tell you, friends, and give a small quotation and conclude my speech. This quotation is from an Atharva Veda. There are two components. One is the ritualistic component and one is the scientific component. It says, we are the birds of the same nest. We may wear different skins. We may speak different tongues. We may believe in different religions. We may belong to different cultures. Yet, we share the same home, the Mother Earth, born on the same planet, covered by the same skies, gazing at the same stars, breathing the same air. We must learn to progress together or miserably perish together. For a person can live individually, but can only survive collectively, is the final destiny for the whole of human race. It doesn't speak of any particular religion or any particular caste. Friends, I would like to once again earnestly appeal to you that there is a need to have some modification, and without misunderstanding, without calculating anything else, we need to have a scientific component, appropriate component of science, and appropriate component of spirituality or the religion, which is the need of the hour, and possibly that system of education may help to a certain extent to minimize the chaos, confusion, bloodshed, and violence in the world. That's my personal feeling. Thank you so much, friends.